Welcome to Lagniappe, a program about events, issues, and people. I'm Corey Crow, and I'm joined today by Doyle Jeter and Doug Duffey, and today we're talking about the Northeast Louisiana Music Trail. And Doyle, it's time for another marker, and this time it's to the man who is sitting on your left.
Yeah, they keep coming around real quick, don't they?
This thing is flying along. First of all, what marker number are we up to?
This one will be number 18, and we've got 4 more to unveil before the end of the year.
That's great news, and it's going along, I think, faster than you anticipated, right?
Faster and more of them and more people coming out of the woodwork offering to help. So that's a good thing.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this man who's sitting next to you. It's Doug Duffey. And Doug, thanks for getting up and coming and being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And it's good to see you. Let's talk a little bit about Doug's musical career. And Doyle, you and I have been talking, and we can't whittle this down to 8 minutes.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to let you read a little bit of the marker and talk
Sure.
about that. And then I want to ask Doug lots of questions about the years that some of this cool stuff happened.
Okay, I'm not going to read the whole marker because we like to keep a bit of surprise, an element of surprise for the unveiling. But Doug is a member of the Louisiana Hall of Fame, the Northeast Louisiana Awards Hall of Fame, and a member of the National Blues Hall of Fame. He's been a recording artist with Capitol Records, EMI, Warner Brothers, and Motown. He's headlined festivals and music venues all over the world. And he has written songs for, performed with, or recorded with names like George Clinton, Bernie Worrell, P-Funk, Rare Earth, Keith Richards, Nicky Hopkins, Little Queenie, and Marsha Ball, Jerry Beach, and several hundred others. So, an amazing career.
Well, Doug, let me ask you, how's it feel to be honored with the marker on the trail? And it's a little weird to think about, but long after you and I are gone, many, many years from now, somebody's going to see that marker. Tell me how that feels.
How does that feel? Well, I'm deeply honored, of course. And as I said, I know the placing of the marker was kind of in question for some people. Like,
let's talk about that.
Not for me.
This marker is going where, Doyle?
It's going at Hasley Cemetery in West Monroe, which ironically a whole lot of our other families, all our friends are buried there, parents, etc. Like Doug said, he's going to be there longer than he will anywhere else. So Doug wanted the marker at the grave site of his mom, Ada. And historically, there are markers, music markers at graveyards all over the planet. Mississippi Blues Trail would be a prime example.
That's actually great thinking. You're going to be there longer than anywhere else.
Right, that was my idea.
I think that's a great idea. So Doyle, the marker's going to be unveiled when?
That's this coming Saturday, May 18th at 12 noon. We ask people to get there a little bit early if they can. And we're going to have our usual run. We'll have some speeches, thank yous, thanking people like KEDM Public Radio, by the way, who has covered every one of these markers. You guys are great in-kind sponsors. We appreciate y'all.
For the folks going, just a quick note, you turn at the third turnoff at the cemetery before you get to the traffic circle.
Correct, going north.
Going north. Want to ask you a little bit, Doug. You grew up here.
Right.
And what got you into music? What were some of your influences when you were a young man and you were like, hey, I think I want to do that?
Well, I was about 11, so I was a very young man. No, I started playing classical piano. I mean, I started taking piano lessons when I was really young. Well, not really young, but 11. That's kind of young. And you know, I was definitely into classical music and wanted to be the next Van Cliburn or something. Then the English invasion came along, and I decided, no, I don't want to do that. I think I want to play rock and roll. So.
No, that's where it was all at, and that's where you meet all the girls and stuff.
I was like, you know, by the time I was 14, I was going, yeah, I think maybe I want to do something.
Yeah, you were like 14 when the Beatles hit.
You had a band.
13.
I was looking last night. I was on eBay and I looked up Doug Duffey, and something popped up on eBay. Duffy's Plantation Band was one of the first ones, and I saw this 45 of yours for sale in London last night on eBay.
That's pretty amazing. I'm sure it was one of my friends that just ditched it.
He's very modest. You can pick up his records all over the planet.
You grew up here, though, and I think like a lot of folks, maybe they don't get their due in their hometown, but you got out of town and did a lot of great things. Tell me a little bit about getting hooked up with the guys, George Clinton and all of those guys. How did that happen? And you worked on and wrote a lot of these tunes that P-Funk did.
Mm-hmm. That came about because I was playing in a club in Little Rock when they actually played Little Rock, and their management company, some of the managers were out after the show, and they came into the club where I was, and they said, well, if you ever come to L.A., look us up. And so it just so happened that maybe a year later I was playing in Las Vegas. And then from Vegas we went to Beverly Hills and played like a month there or whatever at the Ramada Inn, I do believe. But anyway, so they came in, and the rest is, just kind of like they ended up signing me to backstage management, which managed P-Funk and Rare Earth and Nicky Hopkins and various different people. So I was writing for them and also recording in the studio with them.
You played for years in Europe, going back and forth, even in Russia.
Even up until last year.
And the response to great Louisiana music has been great in Europe, right?
They love it.
They love it.
They love it. It's the real deal,
He's the real deal.
Well, the real deal also is going to be putting on a concert with Doug Duffey and Bad Saturday night. Not going to bring the whole band out to the cemetery. The concert's going to be at Enoch's, Doyle.
That's right, and I'm sure all the band and a lot of local musicians and friends will be out there for the unveiling. We're all real excited and very honored to do this for Doug.
For folks to find out more about the Music Trail, where can they go?
Go to Northeast Louisiana Music Trail group Facebook page. Easy to find, lots of info and directions, etc., to the unveiling this Saturday.
That is Doyle Jeter and Doug Duffey. Again, Saturday, 12 to 2 at the Hasley Cemetery, the marker unveiling for the Northeast Louisiana Music Trail.